And, coming up to the end of that contract, I was just like, oof, I don't want to go home. Like, this is the beginning. And it was a similar program to Beta. So we had a lot of Caribbean people there, and we had like a group chat. And one of my friends, Theron, he found, the Beta program, and he shared it in the group. And almost all of us applied. And almost all of us got through, and almost all of us are still here today, 4 years later. We've had that community, we built that community there, and we've transplanted that community here in space.
I came in, just last year. This is my second year now.
Yeah.
But I am so grateful for the Caribbean community I have here. Even in my small little city, because I'm not in Madrid, I can still connect with you guys on WhatsApp. And fun fact, Aneka and I have not met face to face as yet. So,
I would have met you if I hadn't left for Murcia, because I left for Murcia, I think, the same day that you came to Madrid.
Oh yes, when I visited.
Yeah. So I would have met you had things turned out differently.
Yeah, but I am looking forward to the day we'll meet. I will, and yes, I'm just to show that even if we haven't met face to face, the community is there. You feel the support, you get to learn from other people's perspective, and it helps so much. So for the most part, you're not here on your own. So just encourage you, have your community abroad, and just get in contact with us wherever you go.
A story came to mind about having community, and I was in Colombia, in a small city called Cincelejo in Sucre, and I'd gone to Cartagena, Barranquilla, for Carnival. Casey lived in Barranquilla, and just being in the WhatsApp group, being in communication with these people. They're not friends, but they're community at that point. Casey wasn't a friend yet. But I went to Barranquilla, and I ended up staying in her neighborhood, and I didn't know that, but I messaged her and I was like, hey girl, I'm in Barranquilla, Carnival, boom. And then she's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in this neighborhood. And she's like, I live in that neighborhood. And then we were like 5 minutes away from each other. And Abba was also visiting that weekend because it was Carnival in Barranquilla. So I met up with them, just by having access to that community, just by having a WhatsApp group. Mm-hmm. So if you go somewhere, and one of my biggest concerns when I move abroad is always, am I gonna find Caribbean people? Mm-hmm. If you think that that's, a thing that you're going to be fixated on, just like you start up the group, create the WhatsApp group. So when you meet another person, like, hey, there's a WhatsApp group, let's stay connected. And that's how it builds and it grows. And then, because when we moved to Madrid, it was just the four of us, Casey, myself, Danielle, and Ranil. We just the four of us, and now we're like 50 people. And I'm just like, every time somebody new is added to the group, I'm like,
amazing.
Yeah. Just because I know the power of having that community, of having just somebody to turn to ask for help, of having somebody to just, say, this thing happened to me today and I don't know how to feel about it. That's important.
It is very important because sometimes you just need to share, you just need to share what's going on. It may not be the same tomorrow, but in that space, especially when you are abroad for the first time, you're gonna go through culture shock, and just having the community there helps a lot.
So much, like culture shock. I think people underestimate it. Truly, because it's like these smallest things that really get to you.
Yes. Yeah, because you're not in the environment you're used to, so everything is big for you, even if it's, technically small.
Well, yeah, like I can say that 4 years later. But like beginning, for example, in the beginning, like I remember coming, I was like, oh my goodness, this is my first time in like a huge city, Madrid. I lived in Bogota before, but it didn't seem that huge compared to here. Like when I was looking at the maps of Madrid, I was just like, I'm not gonna get this. But fortunately, Casey, Danielle, and Ranil had already been here for some time, a couple of days really. But they had more experience than me. So I really clung on to them. My first week here, I was like, okay, how does this work? Where do I get tickets? Like, and if it wasn't for them, I would have been a complete fish out of water. It's just like, even though I speak Spanish, but it's just like that overwhelm of being in a brand new place. And then when
Yes.
you think about the magnitude of it, oh my gosh, I'm in Europe. Like, it's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. All those feelings combined, everything
Yeah,
hitting you.
all at once.